We are moving to episode 6 of Touring After the Apocalypse. It starts with tourist attractions with Yoko's sister of Umi Hotaru, like the world's largest cutter head at the time used to excavate the Aqualine's underwater tunnel, and the wood-carved fish benches and the Bell of Happiness. They were all pictures on Yoko's phone as her and Irie are sitting in front of their fire at Umi Hotaru, and she says it took a while to get here, but she's glad they came, as the storm continues to rage on. There's a picture of the view of Tokyo from Umi Hotaru, but Yoko says even without the storm, they wouldn't get to see it since there's no lights on in Tokyo. Yoko is like, let's get some sleep, and we can visit the same places in the Touringgram. But Irie sees a picture of the Umi Hotaru specialty sardine burger steaks, and Yoko is like, yeah, we won't be able to get that shit, unfortunately. Yoko says that they should take a break and then make some food, and they start to fall asleep. But Yoko has a flashback to last episode where she cut her finger, and she looks at her finger and is like, oh, it's already healed, and then dozes off. She has a dream sequence again about Umi Hotaru with her sister, and they go get some sardine hamburgers. Then it shows some girls trying to buy some Max coffee, which was made in Chiba in 1975. And the girls go to put a 100 yen coin in the machine, but like fucking hella miss somehow. And that coin drops under the machine, and now these girls are coffeeless. Yoko and her sister see the Tokyo night view, and she's like fucking sick. But then Irie is like, what's sick? And Yoko wakes up, and Irie is like, what kind of dream did you have? And Yoko's like, oh, dream? Well, shit. Irie, let's fucking go. And they get up, and Yoko is like, let's see something cool. And they get to the 5th floor grand deck, but they can't see shit. Yoko tells Irie she had the dream again where she sees shit, and she's like, I saw the night view, and it was sick. But I guess it was just a dream. But they walk past where she bought the sardine hamburger, and she's like, hey, this looks familiar. They walk to the 3rd floor and see the vending machines from the dream with the coffee. And Yoko looks under the vending machine and finds the 100 yen coin the random girls dropped. And she's like, this is crazy. But Irie reaches under the vending machine and pulls out a bunch of other coins too. Yoko is like, man, do people just lose this shit under vending machines all the time? But then a rat scurries past, and then all the red beady eyes appear in the darkness.
Also, this is like the dumbest fucking thing.
No, not yet.
Oh.
Not just wait. This isn't the dumbest thing. I'm getting to it.
No, let me rip real quick. Them fucking just swinging and hitting rats every time they fucking like shoot coins and fucking slam their fucking stick outward and hit rats. I can't. It pissed me off. It pissed me off the whole time.
The rats attack, and Yoko bats one out of the air with their torch, and they run for it. And Irie is sniping rats with coins with her slingshot that I didn't know she had. There are too many, so Yoko kickflips a metal sign and grinds down a railing with Irie, and she says she's got this place mapped in her head since she saw it in her dream. And they see the bike, but a rat sacrifices itself and gets grinded on, and the girls fall and land on top of a truck, dropping their torch, and there's even more rats. I can't believe I just said that fucking sentence.
No, that's a string of words that don't legally belong together. She kickflipped the sign, grinds down the rail, and a rat sacrifices itself. It's like, I got him, guys. And then fucking gets grinded over and kicked into the air. It's not like the rat turns into like a paste either, like from the weight of her. Also, when she's grinding on the rail, she has one leg fully up. So like she is momentum wise, like her legs are like this. It's so hard to explain. I just hate it.
The rat's like, for the greater good, and it just throws itself under the sign.
I can't. This whole part of this episode was so stupid.
Well, I'm not done yet. Irie gets ready to fire her arm cannon, but is like, nah, it wouldn't be effective against such tiny opponents. But then the torch ignited a fuel leak from one of the trucks, and then the rats scatter. The remaining fuel catches fire, and the girls jump from the truck and run to their bike and skirt off as the rats are in pursuit. They're literally punching rats out of the air now, and Yoko tells Irie to beam them up. But then the tanker explodes and sends Yoko and Irie flying in a fiery rat explosion. The girls are, of course, miraculously unscathed, and Irie is like, "Your premonition was right again, Yoko." And she's like, "Nah. This world is crazy and dangerous, and maybe the premonition was a warning that they're having too much fun on their trip, and they've forgotten the world that they're in."
Dude, I swear to God, this is like the most infuriated I've been watching like an episode of anime since Failure Frame. And then like this, like the writing is bad for, and it's like the director is like, "Winky face, got you guys, remember? The apocalypse is terrifying." It makes me like, it is, no.
Well, I'm not done yet, because Irie gets up and is like, "Hey, look." And they see the giant cutter head thing in the sea, and the sea is luminescent. And Irie says they're ostracod, and they emit luminescent chemicals when it's defending itself from enemies or courting females.
Same.
Lightning illuminates the sky, and they can see Tokyo, and they get to see their own version of the night view.
Okay, the amount of electricity in the air for all of these lightning bolts to be hitting constantly. It's crazy. Like, Greg, what the fuck are we watching?
Yoko is like, "World is scary, but also beautiful, and that's the reason why it's so thrilling, right? And it's no wonder she can't stop traveling." And they take a picture of the new night view, but it's just as shitty as the old night view. But then they get a message from her sister. Yoko is like, "Oh shit, is there reception here?" But it seems she had full bars for only enough time to get a single message. And she's like, "Irie, are the cellular towers still working?" But Irie is spacing out and then just fucking falls over.
This is why this show makes me feel like it's supposed to be still in the simulation. Because, like, if you still have something watching over you, like the sister, I would imagine that they're still in the simulation, and the sister's like, "Hey, I'm just going to beam this message. These are kids. They're fucking idiots. They're not going to really understand what's going on. Just throw it out. Done. Or get to this place so that you can repair this android kid."
Irie comes to, and Yoko is like, "Dude, you shut down." And Irie is like, "I don't know what you're talking about. What about the email?" So again, this is another thing where like Irie's acting weird. She's like, "Are you crazy, Yoko? Like, why do you keep saying this weird stuff? And why do I like ominously hover over you like while you're sleeping and look like I'm going to kill you? I don't know." But they open up the mail, and it's about Irie's maintenance, and then it goes into a scene where Yoko's sister is narrating the email, and they detected a glitch with Irie, and she could freeze momentarily, and it tells them to run the repair program and go to the research facility for maintenance as the storm clears up. The research facility is in Tsukuba. And I have a note here that says, "I'm not sure what's going on now. Yoko has like Wolverine regeneration or something and can grind rails and punch rats and not die from an explosion. And her sister is like, 'Hey, I'll send an email.'"
Yeah.
Very weird.
Yeah, we're definitely in this show is fucking weird territory.
It gets weirder because the next morning they do laundry and Yoko checks on Irie and she's doing good. They grill up some dead rats and Yoko asks Irie if she knew anything about the research facility and she's like, "Nope." And she says Tsukuba used to be known for science and was a venue for a science expo and served as a hub for space and biology research institutes. And then I have another note says, "They must have iron stomachs because I don't know if you should be eating dead rat killed in a gasoline explosion."
Yeah, no, man. It looks like they didn't burn the fur off completely because of the char drawing. I don't know. It's super frustrating.
They didn't even gut the rats.
Yeah,
they didn't
it's
even
not-
harvest them at all. They just put sticks up their butts and put them over a fire. And I'm guaranteed that's not how you eat.
No, everyone in
wild,
the scene is dead, including me and the rats.
Yeah. Irie is like, "Hey, why don't you get checked out while I get checked out?" And Yoko is like, "Nah, I'm good. I've never even been sick once." And when she sleeps, she gets all healed. Irie is like, but you have weird dreams. And Yoko's like, yeah, I thought they were dreams of the Turingram, but I was able to walk through the building even though it wasn't on there. And Yoko was like, those dreams are my superpower. And maybe I'm going back in time, and someday I'll be able to time skip to all these places. And Irie is like, yeah, you better get checked out.
Yeah, you're going to need a psychiatrist, not a doctor. Sorry about that. What I meant to say is, bitch, you're getting crazy. Okay?
Another reference to time skipping, since we had one
Yeah.
2 episodes ago, episode 4. They find the happiness bell, and apparently you're supposed to think of your loved ones while you ring it, and everyone will have happy futures. But the rope is cut, so they can't reach it, but eventually do and ring it like a billion times as it shows atmospheric shots of the surrounding area.
The show's pretty, I guess.
It is pretty. They head out, and Yoko is doing wheelies through the water on their way to Tsukuba. And then that's how the episode ends. And then I have a note that says, this show is losing me, but apparently Yoko and Irie are special somehow. And my theory that Yoko will rebuild the world via dreaming and instant regeneration might actually be true.
You might be right, and I hate it. Like that's the stupidest way. Like a child's dreams are what regenerates the world. Like, suck a dick, dude.
Yeah, like a sumo's from behind with his giant balls.
Suck this dick from the back.
I mean, some spoilers for the future. In the series, Yoko does not rebuild the world. But it's like, again, I like your theory of
simulation.
Them not have ever leaving the shelter and it's all a simulation. I kind of thought that, but now that I'm thinking back to the other episodes, like you may have the winning theory there, but they don't tell you.
No.
So that's what I was talking about. They leave it so open-ended that I guess they're just leaving it to the viewer to create their own ending of the story.
Here's my thing.
Or something.
In a lot of stories, there's this open-ended decision from directors. And there's one case where it's done well, which is Inception. Because if you studied the movie,
talked about it.
You would be able to piece together what actually happens at the end. They give you all of the information over the course of the movie. And while it's a long movie, like if you watch it a few times, you could be like, oh, wow, okay, I think I'm getting it. Whereas this show feels like it's doing the Evangelion version where it's like, well, we left it open-ended because we could just choose your own adventure. What do you think happens? If I wanted to choose my own adventure, I'd write this fucking story myself. I'm watching you create a world, and if you don't want to write an ending that finishes off your story, I'm mad at you now.
I guess to touch on Evangelion, I watched the original because I know that they have like a bunch of other series, like Rebuild Evangelion. They have movies, they have other
video
stuff.
Games.
I just watched the first original series that was released. And I was super on board with Evangelion until like the last 2 episodes. And then I guess controversial scene of the finale where it was just the dude and everyone's clapping and it's just like, you're doing a great job, kid. And this was all like fake or something like that. And it was like super weird. It made me not like Evangelion. And I read a bunch of
this is the
posts
problem
on it.
With this is like, it's the director almost saying, I don't know how to end this. So I'm going to write the most insane shit possible and see if I can make sense out of it.
It's not even him to make sense out of it. It's like, I'm going to see if the viewers can finish my story for me.
Right. And that's what I'm saying is like, that's where this feels like it's going.
Like I could speculate like everyone else has in Evangelion. I think there's actually like a college somewhere that has a class in Evangelion, like an actual accredited college course. And I don't know if I'd ever want to go that far where I'm taking classes on.
It was a Mexican university has announced a new diploma program focused entirely on Neon Genesis Evangelion.
So I don't know if I want to get a bachelor's in Evangelion.
I think I'm fucking good too.
It's fun to speculate and to theorize what things actually are. It's like, what are the angels? What are the actual Evangelion machines? I mean, we saw in the anime that they're like big, giant space apes or something like that only kids can pilot, not adults. That's why they had to have kids do it. And, you know, you can I guess like make up, but then the director has said he's never going to explain it any more than he has already. So it's up to us to, I guess, like unlock
And
this
that's
black
such
box of
a
his mind.
shitty fucking thing to say. It's like if fucking we got Game of Thrones and then, I mean, we haven't gotten the last 2 books anyway, but it's like if George R. R. Martin just like woke up one day and he's like, I'm actually not going to write these books. That was the ending. And I'm done. Good. See you later. I died now. And then he just like lays down and that's it. Like that would suck. That would suck for the end of Game of Thrones because it's like you've waited so long to get like the real ending of what happens. But I don't know.
And I think I would be a little more invested in Evangelion if it hasn't been completely consumer gutted. And I mean that where, like, if you go almost anywhere in Japan, you'll walk around and then there's just going to be Evangelion shit like everywhere.
Because it was a cultural phenomena like Akira that, and they were like, well, we could do a lot of figurines and this shit is kind of popular because a lot of people are talking about it and theorizing this. And like, this is just strike while the iron is hot. Let's hit this consumerism as hard as possible.
It's not even figurines. They have like pachinko parlors dedicated to like Evangelion. They have so much stuff, like stuff that doesn't even make sense. They have grocery stores with just like Evangelion plastered all over it, but it's just a regular grocery store. Just imagine going to like Rayleigh's,
Yeah.
and then every window is just full of like Evangelion window stickers, Evangelion like themed outside, but then you walk in and it's just a fucking grocery store, and then you just go and you buy your groceries and then you walk out.
Yeah, it's a fucking hollow shell of what it was.
I guess to wrap it around, this anime, Touring After the Apocalypse, I feel like is kind of doing that same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to continue it, but how they end the anime series anyway, to me just feels like very, I don't want to say like open-ended, but like they end it like, oh, okay, girls, let's just go on, like continue our adventure because now, you know, we're no longer following the Turinggram, we're following our hearts. And then they go and continue to travel and shit. But so much happened in between with Irie's comments, stuff that happened in the previous episodes that we're going to be reviewing, that makes me believe it's like something about this is like off, but they don't ever tell us or give us any closure. I feel like it's just up in the air and us to speculate. Is she in a hologram? Is she not? Is she even real? Like, who knows? Like, is just like a fever dream of a dying child.
Right.
Anyway, there we go. Let us continue our tour